Good afternoon, everyone. It's Anifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I woke up this morning with an intention to contemplate sympathetic joy. And sympathetic joy is a term that a friend had mentioned to me just a week ago in my walk with her. And I was so pleased by the idea of this feeling with, right? Feeling with, this sympathy with joy. I love this idea. So this morning I woke up with this intention. And then, as you know, things show up as I contemplated this. I can say that the first thing that came into my field of awareness was a term that is apparently known in Pali and Sanskrit. And it's an idea that's been known for some time, which is called mudita. And mudita is defined as sympathetic or unselfish joy, or joy in the good fortune of others. Perfect. Exactly what my intention to contemplate on was. So I did contemplate, and I can tell you that various things came to my mind. Of course, I follow this with meditation, and more things come when I contemplate again. And what I discovered was I was thinking of someone, a friend, a good friend, that actually noticed how joyful I was when I would be listening to the radio. And I was always very joyful, and I am too today. But I can tell you at that time, he was first very joyful about it, or happy for me to be joyful about it. And then over time, he had said, "Oh, the radio keeps on playing the same songs. I don't know how you can enjoy that. It's the same thing again and again." And I reminded him that he listens to music that he loves again and again. Of course, that's completely different. His music is different than the music that I listen to. Okay, so that's okay. And then I thought today, because I was doing this contemplative time, oh, that friend can be so joyful for me when there's something else going on. So if I had a lecture that I was doing, very joyful and sharing the joy that I was feeling. Or if I had written something that was from the heart, very joyful and reflecting the joy that I was feeling, which was fantastic. But the music did not. And it wasn't limited to the music, because more often than not, something that I was really joyful in, I could feel he wasn't as joyful. And then today, in this contemplative time, I thought, wow, my birth father was like that. I remember I could get 95% on an exam, and I'd come home to show my folks. My mom could be very happy. And my dad, my birth father, would often, first response be, "You got 95%. How come you didn't get 100?" And it was so interesting. And you can imagine, as a child, it can completely deflate the joy of the moment. So that was interesting. And I knew that my birth father was very much in that process or habit. And so not mindfully aware of how is his experience of someone else's joy either feeding the joy more or limiting the joy that is felt. And I thought, wow, this morning in contemplation, I thought, wow, that's kind of an interesting experience of understanding today that, yeah, there's definitely other people that are going through this too. But I thought about how special it is that I have the blessing to be joyful over very small things. I can be joyful about seeing a little tiny bird on a walk and really focusing on it and sharing love with it. I can be joyful at seeing the sunrise. I can be joyful at a snail on the sidewalk. I can be joyful. And I've always taken it kind of for granted. And I know that a lot of people would think that's very silly. That's not such a big deal. Yet to be joyful in the experience is such a beautiful experience, to truly feel joy. And then sharing that joy, whether here or whether with friends that really do feel sympathetic joy with me, is such a beautiful experience too. And so I found the next quotation, or at least the first quotation. The first was, of course, a definition. The quotation that I found is by Sharon Salzberg, and she speaks a bit about sympathetic joy. So she had said, "The more we practice sympathetic joy, the more we come to realize that the happiness we share with others is inseparable from our own happiness." Isn't that interesting? So again, the more we practice sympathetic joy, the more we come to realize that the happiness we share with others is inseparable from our own happiness. And I hope that you'll understand this, that when you are truly joyful with another person, you're not just putting on an act of, well, that's nice. And a lot of people will say that, right? They'll say the polite things of, oh, that's good. I'm glad you're happy. But they're not truly joyful with us, right? But the person who is truly joyful with us is also truly experiencing joy, which is a beautiful feeling. And of course, it's a wonderful shared feeling too. So today I would love for you to sit down for 5 minutes after this video and think about, are you joyful? And are you able to share in other people's joy? Are you able to experience sympathetic joy? It's a fabulous feeling. I love experiencing joy with people, no matter what they're happy about, no matter what they're joyful about. It can be a simple thing to a really complex thing, but I am always so joyful at other people's experiences. And I think my birth father might have had something to do with it, because in seeing his experience, clearly my mind subconsciously made the decision to make my experience different. And so today I would love for you to think about, how often do you, or are you able to feel sympathetic joy with another? And I'll finish with this quotation that I loved by Shetty. And this quotation says, Mudita, the original word that I had shared, mudita, is the principle of taking sympathetic or unselfish joy in the good fortune of others. If I only find joy in my own successes, I am limiting my joy. But if I can take pleasure in the successes of friends and family, 10, 20, 50 people, I get to experience 50 times the happiness and joy. Who doesn't want that? And I agree. Who doesn't want that? May you find your own joy, and may you feel sympathetic joy to find even more joy. I wish you a fantastic day today, and I wish you a fantastic weekend. I hope you have a joyful one, of course. And I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.